Good old Fisker Whisker might be getting a gift from his wife Gouda tonight because Fisker's looking good. It's up 10% today. We're going to take a look and see where this is going to go next. Let's dig in. Welcome to the channel. So yes, we're talking about Fisker today because it's up 10%. It's looking good. This guy loves them, and this guy loves them, and this guy loves them because he's going to be able to get to go around in style in the Fisker mobile, kissing little babies throughout the little EV windows. Gouda is going to be in the distance with tissues dabbing her eyes because her husband has done magical things. So there's two main reasons why Fisker Whisker has went through the roof today, up 10%. It's not its best day, but it's a good day. The first reason is it's being inducted into the Russell 3000, and when this happens, it gets on more radars. Hedge funds are going to be eating up, mutual funds are going to be eating up. A lot of people are going to see it as a more respectable EV in the EV race. There's only like 10 top EV companies that are mainstream. Fisker Whisker is one of them. One that has fallen out. Well, we know about Nikola, that whole situation, but more recently, Ride's not looking good. Here's a few headlines from Ride, all look bad. EV startup Lordstown touts real employees at a real plant as it seeks capital. They're trying to say, hey, we're not just your typical EV company that says, oh, look at this car, look at this car. A little 6-year-old could have drew that, but look at this car. No, it's not Photoshop, it's real. No, they're not doing that, and they're not trying to get money, raise capital by showing off a fancy car. Anyone could do that. They're saying, look, we got a warehouse, we got workers. They're getting paid $5.55 an hour, but regardless, we got workers, we got a warehouse. It's looking good. And then you got two red flag articles. Lordstown executives sold millions of dollars in stock before problems became public. Lordstown sticking to production timeline, but has a long road ahead, analysts say. Now, the reason why I'm talking about Ride Lordstown is because it was one of Fisker Whisker's biggest competitors. When both of these guys went public, it was around the same time. They both were hot topics. Which one do you go with? And since Ride has had its plunge straight into the toilets in the Putville, Fisker Whisker looks more appealing. So I'm talking about Fisker Whisker today. The short interest also is at 32%. This is the short percent of the float. 32% is shorted. That is looking very good for a short squeeze, and I think the short squeeze is in full effect, which is why I'm doing this video, because I think it's going to catapult even higher. Oh! Before we get into the video, real fast, I have a Discord, I have a Patreon. If you want to know when I buy stocks, sell stocks, go all in, you get these alerts right to your phone. You can see my portfolio, you can chat with me, say, hey, what do you think about Apple or AMD or whatever? I'll chart it for you. I'll send it to you. I say, look at the chart. It's looking good or it's looking bad. So check out the link in the description for the Discord group, and you could sign up on my Patreon. Also, Magna International disclosed a 7.4% stake in Fisker Whisker. That's a big percentage. It's almost 10%. If you don't know who Magna is, they're the ones that are going to be designing the Fisker Whisker. Here's the article right here. Fisker and Magna signed long-term agreement, including production of Ocean SUV in fall 2022. That car looks very saucy, white and black, looking like a dirty snowball, but I like it. Also, as part of my deep dives, I don't just look at the stock price. You know this. I look at many factors. We're going to dig into the chart. I'm going to show you where the stock is going to go. I like to look at the Twitter. I like to see what the CEO's saying and what the company's saying. So they're doing an apparel drop right here. All right, extra revenue. I like it. We'll see if people buy it up. I imagine Tesla's not going to. Here's Fisker Whisker. It looks like he's with the Magna CEO and team. Looking good. Very active on here. If you want to see insight into the company, not only what the news pumps out, just follow them on Twitter or just hit them with a Googs and see where their social media is. I like to do this on all companies. Listen, the key to being successful in stocks and investing is being involved in the investment. Don't just hit buy because you saw it on some forum. Watch these videos. I'm going to inform you, or do your own deep dive if you have more time. So now we're going to take a look at the chart for Fisker Whisker. Looking at this here, we're going to determine where this is going to possibly, where its trajectory is going to go. So if you like when I do this type of stuff, hit the subscribe, hit the thumb up, help me out, because I'm going to analyze this, show you a few scenarios, rather than you just seeing on a forum, oh, buy and hodl diamond hands. Stupid. You need to look at the historical data and know where it's going to go. Be informed so you know why it's falling and why it's going up. Typically when Fisker Whisker pops, it runs hard, and that's what happened. Down here, it ran from 970 all the way up to here. That's 100% return. If you believed in the company, you added in or bought at that bottom. And this would have been a great buy box down here. And the reason why that's a good bottom is because we have support here, and then we have Right here when it IPO'd, we have some data here. So all along this line is a absolute solid bottom. In that area, you want to buy regardless. You could buy it blind. You could buy it if it's your last dollar in your pocket, because this company's not going nowhere. They're making agreements. They got money. Fisker has the background, has the experience, and he wants to cut Elon Musk up. Fisker has always been a long-term play. All of this data in here is all just hype. You know, people talking online, being excited because of the new EV boom. But overall, Fisker was always a long-term, because we know EV is the future. There's only one big company, Tesla, that's doing it. A bunch of the big manufacturers are getting into the game, but Tesla is the top dog. There's no other company that's solely EV that could compete with Tesla. Who's it going to be? NIO, they're in China. They don't count. Is it going to be Fisker? Is it going to be Lucid? Who is it going to be? So I personally think this is going to break out. I think it's only a matter of time before it does. Right now, it's channeling in this area. I'm going to zoom in a second. It's going to do something like this, but it's going to need to consolidate and move sideways, just like it did over here. I think it's going to do something very similar. Consolidate for some time and then shoot up, but we could get this nice little spike in the short term. So we're going to continue to consolidate here. Eventually we're going to break out and test that 2360. That's scenario 1. Scenario 2, we test and break through this resistance right here, which is the ceiling right here. This is the area we can't break through, which is 1936. We're very close. If it blasts through that, we get that short squeeze triggered, because the shorts might add another position here, because they saw it couldn't get through there, and they think, it might not get through there. It might come all the way back down to the 13s. Now, if it doesn't do that, the shorts are going to be toast. It could blast through, come through, and then just head straight up rather than consolidating, then heading up. Two bullish scenarios here. I don't really see a bearish scenario unless we get rejected here. Shorts pile in even more, pushing it further down to that 13, 14, 15, somewhere around there. For a re-entry, they'll get out, they'll take their profits, and then you can ride it back up. So that's my short-term price target, 2360. If we could blast through that $1936 wall, volume pours in, shorts start to get out of their positions, all signs point to bullish. All right, so that's it for today's video. Hit the subscribe if you're new to the channel. Don't forget by hitting that button. It's doing magical things. It's getting you a little bit closer to retiring young.